Many of the problems in marriages is because one of the parties feel left out or feel like their needs are not being attended to, or more so, they are being undervalued. When that happens, what is supposed to be a cooperation becomes a dissociation, and what comes out of that is anger, frustration, verbal abuse, and all kinds of things. If you, for 1 minute, would picture the church as a marriage between the church and God, then you would understand why it becomes necessary for God to see that as much as He's benefiting us, we are benefiting Him too. We are becoming productive in the things of God. Now, if you would further narrow this picture down and see the pastor as the representative of God, then you can expect that the pastor would want to feel that he's being cared for. Paul said that if I have ministered spiritual things to you, is it too much that I ask you to minister natural things to me? This is an area that's very, very sensitive, because most pastors become disgruntled and they're heartbroken, and they get frustrated. They want to leave the work completely because they don't feel that there's an equal reciprocation here. They spend all their life, their time, their family time, everything for the building of the kingdom and the church. They are giving everything for the upkeep of the people of God, but nothing is being done for them. And that's the reason why we started Operation Pastoral Handshake. It was about 23 years ago. I was in church, and I felt led to give this pastor an offering. So I walked to him and I shook his hand with it, and he said, "Hey, what is that? This is a pastoral handshake." I never forgot that phrase, pastoral handshake. But that's a beautiful thing. Reaching out to your pastor with a handshake, with a gift, saying, "Pastor, I value what you do." Saying, "Pastor, this is not your salary. This has nothing to do with your income or your benefits. I just want to be a blessing to you." That's the reason for this particular project. Operation Pastoral Handshake, what we do is try to meet the needs of pastors. We assemble medical experts who come to a pastoral conference and teach them about health. They don't have to pay for all the tests and all of these things that gets done there, because people like you have seen the need and have contributed to get these medical officers paid so that these pastors can get all these benefits for free. Can you imagine if a pastor gets a call, says Operation Pastoral Handshake is visiting you this weekend, and we have for you a van full of groceries? This guy would be so elated. I mean, he would see that the value in the kingdom is practical, is realistic. It's not so much me going to pray. Somebody say, "Oh, Pastor, you preach so well, you blessed me." If I blessed you, show it, prove it to me, let me know that I blessed you. That's what Operation Pastoral Handshake is all about. We believe that your little dime, your cent, your dollar, your $10, your $20, your $200, your millions can be of use in this area. Please join with us. Our pastors needs to be encouraged. Our pastors needs to be encouraged. You can find a pastor who's doing everything right, but just because he didn't get anybody to advise him concerning his musical department, the church isn't growing. Operation Pastoral Handshake can come in, bring in musical aspects. The pastor doesn't have to pay for nothing. And we teach the people, we teach his choir, we teach his musical department how to handle the equipment, how to do what needs to be done so that the church can grow. Do you think that this pastor, if he goes on his knee in prayer, would forget what you've done? I mean, don't you realize that even your own son, if you are kind to them, they treat you differently? We could do this for every minister, and it's through Operation Pastoral Handshake. Join with us, because our pastors need us. They need to be encouraged. They need to be motivated. They need to know that we are behind them and we are pressing on for them, and we're encouraging them to keep going. I mean, some of them are struggling, some of them are struggling. If you take your eyes off of the developed countries and go to the underdeveloped countries and look at the pastors there, boy, it would sadden your heart to know that some pastors' whole month salary is your 1 week salary in the US. The whole month. How is he going to feed his family on that? Yeah, this guy gets up every Sunday and he's in the pulpit preaching. He visits all the hospitals. He visits his church members. He's praying for their healings and they are getting healed. But who is attending to his needs? Who is caring about his? When are we going to turn our eyes and look at them? Jesus said that, don't come talk to me about you visited me when I was in prison. You didn't. Because you didn't care. You were so concerned about yours. I mean, you have a house and you want a bigger house. You have a car. You want a much nicer car. You want a $50,000 car. The $4,000 car is too much of a headache. I can understand that. What about the pastor who's been walking for years? What about that pastor who doesn't even have a bike to visit his church members with? Operation Pastoral Handshake can make that possible. We can bring oral hygiene to them. We can do so much for them. We need your help. Please, today, press that button that says, I want to be a part of this operation. And I know that the God of the heavens will be kind to you as you are kind to him. Because that's his word. When you give, you will receive. The pastors are counting on you. Pastors in Malaysia, pastors in Africa, pastors in Uganda, pastors in Europe, pastors here, even in the US. They're counting on you. Bless God. Bless him with your finances. And he will never deny you help. God bless you.